Hello, everyone. Hello, we are back after a very brief hiatus from, I don't know, stuff. So we're going to be playing Mario Kart today. Very, very exciting stuff. The reason we're doing this typical Sunday stream on a Wednesday is because, yeah, the last time we tried to do this, it completely fucked up, so... You know, it's Wednesday now. Oh my god, we're in. Since I don't want to finish Metal Gear Solid 2 tonight, this is what we're going to be doing. Just kind of chilling out, playing Mario Kart for, let's see, it's 10:30 right now. We'll play for, I don't know, about an hour, hour and a half. As these streams go, instead of one big Metal Gear stream, you're getting two smaller ones. And that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, no, I was really looking forward to this on Sunday, and then it decided to completely fuck up. So, yeah, now we're making it up today, making up for lost time. Because, I mean, here's the thing. I could have finished Metal Gear today. We're holding that off for Thursday. We left off at a perfect spot. I could have played a little bit more of that 2D Mario, but I don't know. I think we can, like, if I'm to play that, I want to, like, get a full, solid stream out of it, you know? And I mean, I could, theoretically, but I don't know. It's just a chill-ass stream. Hello, Mr. Wizard. How's it going? We're just playing some Mario Kart right now because I don't feel like starting something new. And I don't feel like finishing anything tonight, so we're just playing this to kind of, you know, chill out. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, we're almost finished with Metal Gear, and yeah, the Mario game, I want a solid, like, I don't know, 3-hour stream. That'll probably be tomorrow. You know, that just means more time for stuff. Because here's kind of the plan here. What I'm planning on is, So, yeah, I mean, what I'm planning on is tomorrow we'll probably finish that 2D Mario. Probably. I'd say count on it. Because it's a shorter game. It's not a full 4-stream game. Like, from what I read, it only has, like, 70 exits to it, meaning that, you know, it's not that huge of a game. But, yeah. Metal Gear, we're about to finish that. That's in the fucking bag. Like, aside from cutscenes, we have maybe, like, half an hour of gameplay left. Actually, I'd say closer to 45 minutes. Because we gotta do... I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. Essentially, we gotta go through the torture sequence and then the final boss. And then that's it. Oh boy, 200cc, I love it. Which song? This one? Dude, what are you talking about? I I, I can't stand 200cc. We're good. I don't know. I feel like it's just too fast for me. And there's legitimately, like, not the handling of, what is it? F-Zero. F-Zero is built for that kind of speed. Mario Kart is not. You know, I could always just get good at the game, but what's the fun in that? We have Symbiote Spider-Man. It's kind of awesome, though. I gotta be honest. You know, I know this game is like 10 years old, but to me, it hasn't really aged a day. It still looks great. I don't know, like Nintendo, they've never been on the cutting edge of graphics, in my lifetime anyway. Like, when I've been around, you know, I was alive for the GameCube era, but like, my prime time was during the Wii and DS era, so like, their graphics were never all that cutting edge when it came to my lifetime, but I don't know. Like, they have a lot of like style to their graphics that make them hold up a lot better than like, I don't know, a lot of games. Like, let's be honest. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 2. Son of a bitch! I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 2. I like how that game looks. But they went for a realistic style, and I'd say that it hasn't held up as well in terms of looking like a real thing as much as, I don't know, like Wind Waker. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that, you know, I dislike the game. It is absolutely one of my favorite games, but like, it's just one of those things to where if you have the right style to your game, you can make it timeless. Yes! You know, like, here's the thing with video game graphics, and I mean, this is just kind of something I've noticed. We've hit a point of diminishing returns. I think we really hit that point, after the Xbox One era, so I guess for Switch, it would be the Switch 2 era. Because, like, keep in mind, when it comes to these games that we all enjoy, when it comes to graphical leaps, there's not much more you can do. I mean, outside of, like, legitimate VR, there's not a whole lot left to do. It's like, keep in mind, let's take Nintendo out of the equation for a second and just look at Xbox and Sony. It's like, a lot of their stuff, what it comes down to at this point, it's just a matter of, like, how much faster can we load something? How many more frames can we add to something? It's not like, you know, in the N64 era and in the GameCube era of, you know, how can we, like, take this model that's like, you know, 600 polygons and make it look a lot better by doubling the polygon count. Polygons. It sounds like something that Nintendo would come up with, a fucking polygon. Polygons. We gotta workshop that idea. That's actually not a bad idea. Have it be like this thing to where, you know, you can connect like a bunch of different Joy-Cons at once to control a game. You know, like you control 2 Joy-Cons with your hands, 2 with your feet. I don't know, that... but back to what I was saying, polygons. I mean, keep in mind, it's like, you know, you can double and double and double the polygon count. Fuck, there I go again. Polygon count of a model, but at a certain point, you're just not going to get any return off it. It's just putting strain on the hardware. But yeah, I mean, that's like a real thing. Because keep in mind, I mean, look at, for example, Metal Gear. Let's take that into account. Let's look at the jump between Metal Gear Solid 5 and Metal Gear Solid Delta, the new one. I haven't gotten to play the new one much, because I have the fucking game sitting on my shelf. I just don't have anything to play it on. But, no, I mean, it's true. It's like, just look at those 2 games side by side. Like, you know, Metal Gear Solid 5 is a beautiful game. And so is Delta. But keep in mind, between those 2 games, that it's been over 10 years of progress. And what is there to show for it? Not a whole lot. You can see a few more pores in Snake's face, but... I mean, that's what I'm trying to say here. It's like, we are at a point of diminishing returns with graphics. To where it's like, can it get much better? Not really. It's really up to the dev to make, like, a stylistic choice to, like, improve things. Like, for example, Nintendo. You know, they could keep up-resing the models that they used in this game. And that's what they're doing with some projects, but, like, in others, it's like, you know, we're going to slightly redesign them so that we can, you know, make the 2D art from the 90s real. Like, look, I have my issues with some choices being made at Nintendo. For example, the voice actor situation. If Kenny James is to be believed, and I don't see any reason for him to lie to me, we were talking about it. I mean, the thing about it is, it's like, you know, it's not the best environment for voiceover. And it's sad, because it's like, you know, that's what I want to do, that's my dream position, and it's like, to find out that it's not, you know, the best environment kind of sucks, but, I mean, if given the opportunity, I'd still go for it. But, yeah, I mean... Whew. like, back to what I was saying, though. Say anything I want to about that game. It is a beautiful game to look at. Like, the weird technique that they use to, like, give it its style. Now, of course, if you put any of those models into a, like, model viewer, it's gonna look like, oh boy, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. Yeah. But, like, no, the way that it looks in motion, it's a beautiful thing to look at. Same with Mario Kart World, you know, despite the game being very empty from the little bits I've played, and despite my own hang-ups, personally. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like no longer is it about, you know, making things look better. It's just about, hey, how much shit can we fill the screen up with? And I mean, that's kind of what I was leading into. It's like, that's been the path forward. It's like, how much shit can we load into something? And that's going to really be console upgrades going forward. It's not, oh, it's going to look 10 times better than it did, you know, 5 years ago. It's more so, yeah, you know, it's not going to lag. Like, think about this, Donkey Kong. Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza. The reason that moved over to a Switch 2 was not because the Switch 1 couldn't handle it. It was being prototyped on Switch until, like, I don't know, like, a year or two before it came out, which, considering they've been working on it since, you know, Odyssey, that was more so just because, you know, they didn't want the game to lag. And honestly, it performs very well. The only time there was any lag in that game was during K. Rool. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the path forward now. It's really up to the devs to, like, stylize, and keep in mind, outside of Nintendo, there's not many devs doing that outside of, like, indie devs. Like Pizza Tower, for example. That was such a breath of fresh air in a very slop-fueled environment. Speaking of, man, I hope we get another Pizza Tower game from Torte Pizza. Like, that's the thing. It took years to develop. It came out in 2023, back in March, I remember. Because, I actually remember why I remember that. I was, funnily enough, getting some pizza. And, I don't know. Like, I was having a pretty rough day. Because, like, shit with my current, or, not current, but, like, my girlfriend at the time had, like, it was pretty much falling apart, like, completely, but, I remember, I was just driving home, and then, on my YouTube recommended, I saw the release day trailer. It's like, Pizza Tower out now, and I'm like, holy shit! So I immediately bought that shit on Steam. Played that game with a Super Nintendo controller, and it was a wonderful time. Yeah, yeah, no. That game, I followed that game's development back when I was in, like, high school. Because I remember seeing it, and I'm like, oh shit, more Wario Land? And yeah, what I ended up doing was, like, I remember seeing the demo for it back in, like, 2019. And I was, like, in an English class just watching a video on it. I was so excited for it. I'm so excited. Yeah! That is true. Walt, it was called Mario Kart Sundays because I typically stream it on Sundays. But this Sunday, our segment kind of got co-opted by shit just not working. Everything was breaking down, so break it down for me, Walt. But yeah, that's why we're playing Mario Kart Sundays on Wednesdays. Or on a fucking Tuesday. Or whatever day it is. I forget what day it is. Walt. If you were still here, did you hear the answer to the question you asked on the last segment? Because I did give an answer. Okay. Okay, good. I don't know. If someone asks a question, I just think it's considerate to, like, not just ignore the question. Verily. I mean, legitimately, that's the thing about it. Something else that annoys me about that is just, like, how uninformed people are. I don't know. Like, after seeing the reaction to all that, it kind of proved to me how stupid most people are. And I'll explain why in a second. Actually, yeah, I'll explain why now. No, the thing about it is, it's just like, there's a lot of, like, sycophantism when it comes to companies making choices and calls. Whether they're bad or not, you'll always have people being like, well, and they won't know the proper context to everything, so they'll just construct this story in their head that's like, oh, the world is sunshine and rainbows. Did you know that Charles Martinet picked the guy out himself? And it's like, no, the fuck he did not. No, he didn't. Motherfucker! Oh, there goes our third place victory. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Here's the thing about it. When Wonder was announced, I was excited for it. But I remember being at work, and I heard the voice clips, and I'm like, that's not him. And I remember everyone telling me that I was just the world's biggest idiot for thinking that. And I'm like, no. I have heard that man's voice in every single Mario game I have played. I have studied that voice. And keep in mind, this is even before I got into, like, the voiceover stuff. Like, because that's a more recent development. I mean, I've been doing it for, like, fuck, we're going on 3 years of it. But no, I remember at the time talking with friends of mine. People who, were pretty big Mario fans. I'm not talking about just casuals who, don't play the games all that much. I'm talking about, like, people who, like me, are pretty diehard Mario fans. And we got into fights over it because they're just like, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, that is not Charles Martinet's voice. And I remember at the time, because, like, here's the thing. and this is going to sound very egotistical, very narcissistic, but I don't care. When I'm right, I'm right. I don't give myself enough credit often enough. I don't know. People often, like, try and gaslight me into thinking that I'm wrong even though I'm right. Very sad state of affairs. But no, what I was saying, though, is that I remember when, you know, all that shit was going on. People were like, no, that's not him. But I actually had an opportunity to speak with him before the game came out. And because he was at too many games, and me and some friends went up there because I wanted to meet the voice actor for Solid Snake. Got him to sign my copy of Twin Snakes, and it was awesome. But anywho, back to what I was saying. What I was saying, though, is that I mean, because for those of you who don't know, I've met Charles Martinet at numerous events. Meeting him is always a treat. He's very, you know, happy and all smiles. He'll do the voices for you. It's a nice little deal that he's got going on. But I remember the second the words left my mouth, I'm like, look, man, keep it real with me. I know you may not be allowed to because of NDAs.
It's already 11 p.m.
Thank you for interrupting me, Mr. Flower. But no, I remember, I'm like, look, I know that's not you. Tell me, please, that it's just some sort of temporary voice, that, you know, you just didn't have time to get into the booth. And I remember he got really solemn. Like, really sad. And he looked at me and my friend who were there at the time, and he's like, look, man, I'm not allowed to talk about it. But, I mean, just being honest here, it looked like he died a little inside when I asked that. Because, I mean, that's the thing. It was kind of confusing, too, because he had, like, the Elephant Mario at his, his little booth. And I'm like, look, man, I know that's not you in those recordings. Please. Because keep in mind, it was like a week later, after it was announced that I went up there. I'm like, look, that's not you, I know it. And, yeah, no, he was like, no, man, I'm not allowed to talk about it. But, yeah, it's not, you see, when I was in high school, I had a very wise teacher. And one of his big things, he made us read this, like, article on it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the second that he said that in the way that he did, because, you know, I've watched panels with him in the past. I've been to panels of his at the time. And, you know, whenever someone would ask him, oh, what's the new Mario game going to be like? He would always be happy when saying it, you know, like, no, man, I'm not allowed to talk about that. Nintendo made me sign an NDA. But, like, when I said that to him all those years ago, like, it was the way that he said it. He looked like the soul had been sucked out of his body, and he's like, dude, I am not allowed to talk about that. Like, it's so weird. It was very out of character for him to say it in that way, because, like, you know, when you meet him, he's like just this, he's the jolliest old man, but, like, it was like you sucker punched him and then asked him a question. It just kind of made me feel bad, but it also, like, confirmed my my being right. It confirmed that, you know, I wasn't going crazy, and that I was right about the whole ordeal. But I guess to kind of, like, continue what I was saying before I told that story. No, I mean, that's the thing. There are so many sycophants who, when you say that you don't like the new guy's performance, they'll be like, "You're just not giving him a chance. You have nostalgia bias." And it's like, no, he's just not doing the voice right. Like, anytime I talk about this, I literally have like a Varg, Skeletor, Joel moment when he was talking about the Mario World show. It's like, give me time, I can do it better. But no, this new guy just doesn't cut the mustard. And you know, I feel bad about saying this, but because look, the new guy, he seems nice. I haven't met him personally. He seems all right. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like, look, the attitude of everyone can do anything, it kind of is on full display here. It's like, you know, some people can... Alright, how can I word this without sounding like an asshole? Look, the thing about it is, especially when it comes to voice acting, some people can do certain voices, some people can't. I can control my vocal cords pretty well, all things considered. But the fact of the matter is, I know my voice well enough to confidently say, I will never be able to do a one-to-one voice match for James Earl Jones, Darth Vader. I am just not capable of doing that. That's not me. That's not me saying, ooh. It's just, it's two different voice registers. And, you know, that's the thing. It's two different voice registers for Mario. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, I can do a Mario impression. You know, it's a Mario. It's like, that's not it. That's not it. There are intricacies to the voice. And, I mean, like, I don't know. We've lost a viewer. We've lost them. They got tired of my rant, but I'm going to keep going. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, some people can do certain voices. Some people can't. That's not a... It's just a factual thing. It's not a matter of, you know, just... It's not a matter of being nice or being mean or whatever anyone else online wants to come up with. Because I notice that people, whenever you critique something that, you know, a company says... Then they're just like, no, leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone. And it's like, no, it's not even a matter of that. It's just, if, I don't know, people just don't want to keep it real nowadays. They, you know, Metal Gear Solid 2. You know, Metal Gear Solid 2 predicted something about this, Tone. It's true. It's like, people want to be in their own personal bubbles, where they're most comfortable. That's not inherently a bad thing, but it also, when you get to a point of doing that to where it's like, you throw a fit anytime there's like a dialogue opposing your own, like, I don't know, your own opinions on things, then it just leads to issues. Like, everyone wants to be in their own echo chamber. And I guess that's really what I'm trying to say here. It's like, the fact of the matter is, people want so hard to be in their own echo chamber of just ignorance when it comes to certain things. It's like they're being intentionally dense. Oh, yeah! Now look, my Mario voice, I think it's pretty good. That's not me patting myself on the back. I worked my ass off at it. It's not going to be, you know, one-to-one with Charles. But, I don't know. I mean, that's really the thing about voice acting and voice impressionism. It's like, look. 99% of the time, no one's going to be 100% there. Unless you're like, I don't know, like a relative. Or like, I don't know. Yeah, if your dad is doing a voice and you want to do that voice, there's a good chance you could be like 99% of the way there, 100% of the way there. But the fact of the matter is, each and every person talks differently. And, I mean, that's really the thing about it. It's just... it's a matter of individuality. And the thing about it is, it's like, you know, you say these things in certain echo chambers that someone, like, just logical shit like that. And, you know, they'll pounce on you like fucking dogs, like, ah! It's crazy. But no, what I was saying, though, is that, look, when it comes to, like, impressionism and, like, doing a voice impression, most people aren't going to be one-to-one. Outside of chance cases, of course. But, like, most people... it's like in school, you know. You want to aim for 100%. But the reality of it is... you know, you're probably going to... like... 75 to 90 is a good range. 70 to 95, I should say, is a good range. That is feasible, I'd say, with certain voices and certain things. It's like, you know, most people, they can get, you know, 70 to 90% of the way there. That 25% range. And people act like, you know, that's just crazy talk, but it's true. It's like, you know, unless your vocal cords are physically identical to someone else's, then, like, you know, there's going to be a different cadence in the way you talk. There's going to be variation there. So, just, you know, down to a science, it's like 70 to 90-ish. And you can, you know, crunch the numbers a little bit with that. You can fudge them a little bit, but, I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. Yeah! Okay. But no, that's the thing. It's like, look, a good kind of median range is 70 to 90%. I'd say. It's like, look, my Mario voice, it's not perfect. But I'd say it's like 70% of the way there at least. I'd argue a little higher. You know what? I'm going to give myself credit. I'd argue 80% of the way there. There's room for improvement. There always is. But the fact of the matter is, who Nintendo chose to replace Martinet after internal conflict, which is another thing I want to get to. You know, the guy, he's only like 30% of the way there with a lot of the voices. Like, you know, it's better than the fucking bare minimum of, it's a me, Mario. But, like, it's not good. Just being honest. I mean, that's just the thing about it. And, his Luigi is pretty good, I gotta say. Other than being kind of a deeper pitch, it works. And that's the thing. When it comes to, like, I don't know, doing a voice, it doesn't have to be one-to-one. It just has to work. Problem is with Mario and the guy doing it, it doesn't work for Mario. Mario has always been Charles Martinet. Like, in the games. When it comes to, like, actual in-game voices, it's always been Charles. With Luigi, you know, there's wiggle room there, because not only do you have Martinet, but you have Julian Bartikoff. You have... that's kind of it, but you have Julian Bartikoff. And, you know, you can... work around that alongside the many variations that Charles gave to Luigi over the years. Because that's another thing. It's like, you look at, Luigi and, let's say, here's a good example. Mario Golf 64. Luigi doesn't sound like he does in this game. You know, quite frankly, he sounds like a Sopranos, like, background character. Actually, not even a background character. He sounds like, fuck. I always forget this guy's name. He's the Italian guy who, came over from Italy. He comes over and he's playing golf and he's like, stupid a fucking game. That guy. That's what he sounds like in that game. Hello. How's it going? But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He sounds like that. Then you look at his performance in Luigi's Mansion, and it sounds different. You look at Julian Bartikoff's performance, it sounds different. You look at, you know, his performance in Luigi's Mansion 3. It's also not going to sound the same. And that's why I think that his Luigi voice works. And there we go. That is the entire race thrown. Okay. How's it going? How's it going, new chat member? We're just ranting and raving about, I don't know, voice acting. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. His Luigi voice works. The Wario, the Waluigi, the Mario, I don't think are very good. I mean, they're better than the bare minimum. That's why I'm giving him the credit of, you know, like 35% of the way there. But I don't know, man. It's just wrong cadence, wrong a lot of stuff with it. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, you get a lot of sycophants who will just point the finger and fucking scream at you because you're just you're a mean piece of shit for pointing this stuff out. And it's like, no, it's just that, you know, I disagree with the multi-billion-dollar company. Leave them alone! It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's just one of those things. Exactly. That's the thing. It's so one note. Like, I mean, that just comes down to, like, how people look at life. A lot of people want to view life exclusively as, you know, and a lot of things in it. Like, just as, like, black and white issues. But the thing is, most things in life are gray area. Not trying to be like a moral ambiguous or morally ambiguous here, but you know, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, there's a lot of things in life that it's a lot of gray area. You just have to find out, you know, towards what side of that equation, you know, you want to stay. But a lot of people don't view things like that. And it's very one note. It's like people don't want to have a discussion about things anymore. It's just they want to stay in their own echo chamber and, you know, essentially huff their own farts to the point that, you know, it's like anything else is just blasphemy. It's crazy. But, you know, that's just what we've come to nowadays. Well, that comes down to another issue. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's even an issue, more so just one of those things. It's goodwill from the Iwata era. Like, here's the thing. Back in the Iwata era, I don't know, like, if you were around back then, really. But the Iwata era, there was so much goodwill there. And I mean, that's the thing. Iwata was literally the perfect lead for Nintendo. It was by gamers, for gamers. You know, there were some anti-consumer things back then. But at the end of the day, like, aside from, like, some stupid quarrels about, you know, just stupid shit, it's like, look, at the end of the day, Iwata actually cared. He was in it for the love of the game. He wasn't in it for the money. He was in the industry for the love of the game, not just for monetary success. And that's the problem. I mean, that's a problem with a lot of industries as a whole nowadays. You know, you hear the phrase gatekeeping. And, you know, people say it as if it's this, like, bad thing. But I wouldn't inherently say that gatekeeping is bad. Because, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, there are so many people who just, you know, they're like, oh, about everything. But it's like, you know, you get someone in a position of power in an industry that, you know, they're not in it for the love of the game. They're just in it to, you know, for a check or to recreate it in their own image. It's going to cause some issues. I mean, that's just flat out what it is. That's just keeping it real. It's like, I mean, for example, here's a good one, Star Wars. It's like, when it got sold off to Disney, it was no longer for, you know, it was no longer by and for Star Wars fans. And I don't give a shit about people being like, but Dave Filoni stayed there. He's caused more issues than he's fixed. Let's be honest here. But, like, you know, they made something that was not for the target audience. And they didn't do it successfully. They burned a multi-billion-dollar industry to the ground just for the hate of the game, I should say. You know. And yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah, no, agreed. Like, yes! Woohoo! But yeah, no, that is true. Yeah, there are times when gatekeeping is good and bad. But I'd say, you know, gatekeeping has become such a dirty word for, you know, the act of trying to preserve the integrity of something. And that's just the thing. The second that Iwata was out of Nintendo, because, you know, unfortunately, he very unfortunately passed away. You notice Nintendo falling into bad habits. Like, you know, they start a bunch of DMCA takedowns of everything. They immediately went into avenues that Iwata was firm on saying, no, we're not going to do that. And I mean, it's kind of meddled things up to a really fucked extent. For fuck's sake, like, let's be honest here. Like, let's not forget, Iwata, like, took, like, half a salary pay cut just so they wouldn't have to lay anyone off during the Wii U era. Could you think of any company doing that today? Fuck no. Iwata was in it for the love of the game. But, like, legitimately, since he's been gone, you've noticed, like, Nintendo making these, like, weird missteps that, like, I don't know. It's really, like, degraded some of the quality. Things, like, for example, consoles. Nintendo did not directly iterate. That was one of their big things, you know. We'll do an idea once, and we'll keep it around until, you know, something big and new comes. But, like, for example, the Switch 2. You know, it's a direct iteration. And actually, I'm kind of wrong on that. I mean, they did the Super Nintendo and the N64, but, like, you know, it was not direct, like, iterations like the PS1, the PS2. Numbered consoles, they never did that. The next iteration, you know, sometimes it could be just a souped-up version, but there would be, like, a new idea. Something, like, really just magic. Like, for example, you know, like, we went from the Game Boy to the Game Boy Color. You know, it was in full color. It could do special things. Then there was the Game Boy Advance. It played games in 32-bit. Then we went to the DS. And, you know, it had the touchscreen. It had all that. The 3DS, it's like, what if we did that, but put in glasses free 3D? That's a cool idea. Agreed. No. Disney and Nintendo are more alike than they seem. And that's not necessarily a compliment. I love Nintendo. I want them to make the right calls on things. Trust me, I'm not complaining just to hear my own voice. If I wanted to hear my own voice, I'd just listen to one of my own streams where I'm fucking rambling. I'm saying all this shit because it's because I want Nintendo to learn from these missteps and to course correct, but they aren't. And I mean, that's really the thing about Nintendo. It's never necessarily, like, a direct step backwards. Like, you know, because with a lot of companies, you know, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But Nintendo is different. It's like 2 steps forward, then a step to the back, 3 steps to the right, and then, like, you know, like a half pace, like, to the northeast. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Mr. Brad, how's it going? But yeah, I mean, keep in mind, I don't say any of this with, like, I don't know, with ill intentions. I say this out of care. It's like, please, fix things before it's too late. I don't know, though. You have, like, these literal man babies, though, that, like, whenever you point this shit out, they'll be like, no, leave the company alone. And it's like, dog, what is wrong with you? Yeah! That is true. I'm kind of interested to see that too, because here's the thing, it's like, have we hit a wall with all this stuff? That's also true. I was explaining this the other day to someone. It's like, you know, you look at, like, diminishing returns. That's a big thing. Like, you look at the CGI in Spider-Man 2 from 2004, and then you look at some, like, CGI from a movie that came out, like, 2 weeks ago. It's like, why does the new one look like shit? Why does the CGI that came out when I was, like, a toddler look so much better? I don't know. It's crazy. Things are getting crazier out there, Murr. Do you know what it's like? Do you ever leave the Twitter thread? It's all this yelling and fighting. Nobody's civil anymore. God, that is such a good movie. But no, it's true. It's like everything, and I have a term for it. It's slopification. Everything has become slop. In its own way. You know, no one wants to take risks anymore. It's like, gone are the days of companies taking big risks and doing wacky new ideas. They want to play it safe because they know at the end of the day they'll get their, you know, their multi-million-dollar paycheck and then they have nothing to worry about. But, I don't know. It makes life less interesting. It was a lot more interesting when everyone was on their toes, trying to throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. And now no one's willing to do that because it's just not... It's not a guaranteed, you know, hit. Yeah! Exactly! That's what I'm saying, man. Like, gaming's been around for 40 years. For the first 20, it was just this, like, new and exciting thing. What are these companies going to come up with next? What wacky idea, what wacky adventure are we going to do next? But now it's just, like... Here's the thing. I was in a game store the other day. And, you know, as they do, they have, like, the company's, like, big things on display. The sad thing for Nintendo is it's like, for their big heavy hitter stuff for like Switch, what they were advertising is a game that came out when I was like in like first grade. Mario Galaxy. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like, but we shouldn't have to live like that. We were not created to be that way. Created? But, I mean, it's true. It's like, we shouldn't have to live like that. We shouldn't have to live knowing, you know, oh, the good times have passed. Now it's just going to be safe slop. Maybe something good will happen in 5 years. No, Why? Why do we have to live with that mindset? That is such a defeatist mindset. It's true. But why? Why has it come to this? Why is this what we're doing now? Why? We shouldn't have to, like, hope for slop, for gruel. Like, we should be able to be excited about these brand new, like, adventures, like these big groundbreaking things in gaming, but it's just not there anymore. And it's sad. Like, I wish I could go back to a simpler time where, you know, where the biggest worry that I had for the industry is, oh, what wacky thing is Mario gonna do next? But now it's just, you know, oh boy, your big holiday title, you ready for this? It's gonna be Mario Tennis. It's gonna be the exact same as the last one. But look, they're wearing different shirts now. What is wrong with you? Have we hit a plateau in ideas to where that's the best you can come up with? Just an iterative entry. I don't know. It makes me sad because, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I want to be excited about gaming. It's one of the few mediums that hasn't completely taken a nosedive, but, like, I don't know. I feel like day by day we're inching the line. We are walking the line of just complete slop. I'm doing pretty good. I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't say it's that. And you know why? Last year, Donkey Kong. The new Donkey Kong came out. That was the first time I had been excited for, like, something in gaming in years. And you know what? It delivered. Like, I'd say that game is a solid, like, 8 or 9 out of 10. I don't know. For me, I think the only thing that could have made that game better for me is if, you know, you could swap out Pauline for Diddy Kong. But you can't have it all. That's the thing. And that's a valuable motto in life. You can't have it all. You're gonna have to compromise on a few things. And you know what? I'm willing to compromise Diddy Kong for a solid Donkey Kong game. And he was in the game too. Not as much as I'd like, but he was there. But that was a solid game. I don't think there's been that much growth in, you know, the span of a year. In the span of 3 years? Hell yeah. I am not the same person I was in... Actually, yeah. No, I am not the same person I was back in, like, I don't know. ...2022. So how old was I then? I was like just turning like 20. Yeah, I'm almost 24. I've grown in 4 years. But in the span of a year, not really. That's the thing. Speaking of plateaus, I've kind of plateaued in terms of that. It's like, you know. I'm the exact same person I was, like, back in 2025. You know, if we're talking 2022, 2023, I'm not the same person. And I guess that's just life, you know. A lot of people get used to a certain version of themselves and then they change. Things change, but I don't know, like, what the fuck? Yeah. That's true. You know, that is a solid point. Honestly, I think that's part of the reason why I can't get into Pokemon as much as other people I know. A lot of people I knew grew up with Pokemon. You know, they're like, yeah, you need to start playing it. It's great. And I'm very lukewarm on it. It's like, you know, it's okay. Fair enough. That's not a bad thing to do. Hell, why do you think I stream? Why do you think I say these things? On record. It's like, you know, I can look back, you know, 5 years from now and see how much I've changed. See how different life has become. I mean, I have... Oh, shit, F-Zero. I mean, I have some long recordings of myself from, like, what, 2019, 2021, 2022. And I don't know, it's weird to see how much a person can change, yet be the same in a weird way. I don't know. Maybe it's just because at a certain point, you know, life will hit you like a fucking truck. You know, I remember when I got my Switch 1. God, now that feels like eons ago. Actually, no, I misspoke. That doesn't feel that long ago, but I don't know. I feel old whenever I talk about stuff that feels like yesterday because, you know, I'll look back and it's like, oh shit, that happened like years ago. Like for me, I'll tell you one that gets to me. When the Switch came out, I remember being so excited when that game, or when the console came out. And I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And I remember that was the first console I bought myself. I worked at a fast food job for like a month, and I was able to afford it. I had to save up everything, but, you know, it was worth it. I got this, and I got Smash Ultimate with the console. Because I remember, the console itself I bought off of, it was off of some website, but I didn't have any games for it. So, like, after I got off my shift at work that day, my dad drove me up to Walmart. And I bought this and Smash Ultimate. You know, that doesn't feel like it's been that long ago, but that was in 2019. And, you know, where are we at now? 2026? It's been 7 years ago. I still have my original Switch, actually. It's in a drawer in a Mario Kart 8 case. But yeah, I don't know. The passage of time is a weird thing. You know, because 1 second it's like, you know, you're just sitting in, like, I don't know, a school classroom. And then, you know, the next second you look back and it's like, oh shit, I am a full-grown adult who has adult responsibilities now. What the fuck? What happened? Like, for me, I don't know. The whiplash on it is crazy, but it's true. I don't know. I miss the days where me and the boys would all crowd at a friend of ours' house and we'd just play Mario Party. You know, I remember we'd do that. We'd go to flea markets and look for Star Wars action figures. Because here's the thing. I love collecting stuff. I don't know, part of the reason why it picked up so heavily for me back in, like, high school and stuff is because of my friends. Like, we'd all get into this huge pissing match over who could get the most shit. And, you know, back in high school, you know, it was a pretty close competition. Then, you know, I had adult responsibilities and bills and shit, and they did not have that, and, yeah, the gap widened. A friend of mine was able to pay $1,000 at a store just for some, Star Wars vehicles and stuff, and, you know, the friendly rivalry continues, but, man, I do miss those days. Because, that's the thing. One place that we loved to go was this, it was this, like, hole-in-the-wall toy shop that was owned by an old Vietnam veteran. And that's what he did. Like, he just bought toys and sold them. And, yeah, no, he passed away recently. Oh, motherfucker. But yeah, he passed away semi-recently. I had to go to his funeral, but, yeah. Very melancholy. Very melancholic, I should say. Talking about this, because I don't know, it makes me miss, the way things used to be in some regards. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There are two theorems I have on this. No. Hey. Keep in mind, the guy was like... The guy was in his, like, mid-80s. He was old, and he had some health issues. Like, I remember, he was on, like, dialysis for a few years leading up to him passing away, but... You know... He would always cut me and my friends deals because we'd come in and we'd actually buy stuff. Like, you could negotiate the prices on stuff, and... Yeah, looking at my shelf next to me. I don't think, half of it would have been possible without contributions from his store. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just one of those things about growing up, It's the thing that, it always lingers in the back of your mind, but you don't want to openly say, There are people who are older than you, and they will not always be around. It's a lingering thing in the back of your mind that you know to be true, but you don't want to admit it. But yeah, I'd say my only regret with him, because him and I, we always used to talk, and it was a good banter, but my only regret is that I didn't get a chance to, I don't know, go back and have a good conversation with him one last time. Yeah, I mean, it happens. When you grow up, you get busy and things become more out of the way than they once were. But yeah, good guy. Damn, this discussion got somber. But yeah, fuck. I have a theory on time speeding up and slowing down, and I wouldn't say that's I got two theories. One is going to involve you to put on your tinfoil hat. The other is just kind of a logical, psychological thing. The first one is that time has physically sped up. I mean, you look at certain, like, watches that aren't digital. The time moves physically slower. And that's not even a joke, like... It's like an actual, like, observable phenomenon. But for the more logical theorem that I have on it, that can't be explained away by, they were measuring time slightly differently or whatever. It's that, when you're a kid, everything is a huge thing. It's this big, different thing. You're learning different things. You're doing different things. It's always a new adventure to wake up in the morning. But when you're an adult, you've been conditioned to, follow routines. Like, let me wake up at 8 a.m. every day, get the same coffee, go to my 9-to-5 job. And unfortunately, when it comes to that... Oh, shit, we got fourth. Not bad. But no, when it comes to something like that, what it leads to is time will physically speed up because you're not anticipating anything different. It's just existential existence. And because of that, what it leads to is monotony. So your brain is like, okay, well, we're not really absorbing anything new or interesting. So, just speed things along. Those are my two theories on it, but I don't know. I think both are equally as viable options. But yeah. I don't know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, we'll play for a little bit. I'll probably go for about another half hour. That'll put us at a nice even 4 hours of streaming today. And also, I'm a little bit hungry, so I haven't really eaten today, but it happens. But yeah, I mean, you know, I like being able to have discussions like this. That's the thing, and honestly, I think Metal Gear Solid 2 also puts me in the mood to have discussions like this because, you know, it's a 25-year-old game. It really gets your mind going on, you know, the goings-ons of things and putting two and two together. That's kind of what Metal Gear Solid 2 does to me, personally. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know what's funny? All this started because I just wanted to, like, sit here and talk about the reasons as to why I don't like the new Mario voice. I don't like new baby game because it's not old baby game. That's the argument. That's the tweet. Hit send. Alright, we got a solid 30 seconds until blue shell is in the inventory, so this race is in the bag. It's probably not. It's probably not. We're probably gonna get fucked. Maybe. Possibly. No, we aren't! Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! We did it! Woohoo! But yeah, I don't know. I like having discussions like this. It's nice to be able to actually talk. And not just, like, sit there, mouth agape at a fucking game. And have, like, a discussion about things. Because it's important to discuss things. You know, if you've been gifted with an ability to reason, unfortunately, you can't just take that for granted. Because the fact of the matter is, you are amongst a small percent of the entire population. So it's better to use that gift and put it out there than it is to just, you know, hide it away. And that goes with, you know, any talent or gift. It's better to use it than to lose it. Yes! Princess Orange. Like, I've talked about this before. So many people are, like, content with, like, stagnation in life. You know, routine because it's comfortable, not because they want to, but just because a matter of comfortability. So they stagnate and they waste the gifts that they've been given. And it's such a sad thing to see. Whether it be because, you know, of a relationship or some, I don't know, quote, growing up shit. I've seen it time and time again, where people just quickly become Mr. No Fun because, or Mrs. No Fun. It goes both ways. But no, it's like people... that would trade a valuable gift that they've been given for comfortability, for routine. It's this... It's a weird phenomenon I've noticed. It's like, there are so many people who just want to languish in normie life rather than, I don't know, actually live for themselves. And it's kind of a terrifying prospect when you think about it. It's like... So you'd rather waste a...
It's 12 a.m.
awesome gift that you've been given for, you know... For what purpose? For things that are fleeting? For things that come and go? Yoshi Circuit. I remember when I got Mario Kart DS. I remember getting it from Walmart back in the day. I got it because, like, a relative bought me some DS game that I already had. So I had some refund money alongside some, like, it was like some holiday or some report card or something. It was either Christmas, my birthday, or a report card. So I bought Mario Kart DS. Mario Kart DS was kind of like my first Mario Kart that I really got into. Not the first one I played, mind you. The first ones that I played, and I can remember them in order. I played Double Dash first at a McDonald's kiosk. I played Mario Kart Wii because my cousins got that game for Christmas. I played Mario Kart 64 at, like... It was like one of my parents' like friends' houses or something. It was something with like the church that I was going to at the time with my family. I believe it was like a Bible study or something. I don't remember the context, but what I do remember is I was a little kid. I was like 4 or 5, and I was playing fucking Mario Kart 64, and that shit was awesome. I remember going with my cousin to a half-price books and seeing Mario Kart 64 after that, but I didn't pick it up because I didn't have an N64. Man, Mario Kart 64 is fucking awesome. We'll do a few more races. God. Shroom Ridge, let's go! Man, the Booster Course Pass was such a good idea. I wish Nintendo would have rolled it out earlier so that we... I don't know, maybe I'm being greedy here. But, I don't know. I wish that they would have rolled it out earlier so that, you know, there was more. Like, for fuck's sake, I would have so bought another pack of courses for, like... What was it, like $25? Hell yeah, like, you know, put all of the courses in Mario Kart 8. I would have paid for that. I don't know, I feel like, because that came out in what, like 2023? That's when they announced it? Keep in mind, this game came out in like 2018. I feel like had they rolled out that idea a little bit earlier, then, you fucker! But yeah, had they rolled out the idea, I don't know, 2 years earlier, 2021, then I don't know, I feel like we could have gotten a little bit more. Maybe I'm being greedy, but let's be honest, it can't be that hard to put, I don't know, new tracks into this game. I mean, surely it's a lot easier than making a whole new game. You know, I'm glad that we got what we did over, you know, not, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being greedy because I think this is where Mario Kart has, like, peaked. Like, legitimately. You play Mario Kart World, it's not on the same level as this for me. Yeah! And you know, there's always custom tracks for this game, but I don't know. There's something different when it's like officially made by Nintendo. Not to glaze, but I don't know. It's like I think that like had Nintendo, I don't know, done it a little bit earlier. Because let's be honest, the reason behind the Booster Course Pass was literally just to preserve the tour stuff when they, you know, inevitably stopped supporting tour. I think they still support it for now, but I know they've stopped making new content for it. Anyway, that's not important. The point that I'm trying to make is that I don't know. I'm not saying that Nintendo should go full like every other company and just release DLC pack on top of DLC pack. But I don't know. In a way, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's a lot of gray area to things. And I feel like Nintendo goes too far in one direction with stuff. Why did that ring around and just fucking hit me in the face? I don't get it. I don't. I don't understand. But anyway, no, I mean that... I don't know. I don't want Nintendo to just, you know, constantly just push DLC. But at the same time, it wouldn't be bad to get a little bit more DLC out of Nintendo. And I'm not talking about... when I say that, I mean shit like this, to where it's like, oh, we're going to give you, like... We're going to essentially double the length of your game. Agreed. No, I get that, but no, what I'm talking about is like DLC like this. The DLC that I can think of as an argument for why Nintendo should stay away from it is Donkey Kong. You mean to tell me you're charging $20 for a single world that should have just been the post-game reward? Yeah, DK Island in Donkey Kong Bonanza is like $20. That would be like in Mario Odyssey, you know, at the end of the game. You know how you get Peach's Castle? It would be like, you know, instead of that, they just drop you back off of the Cap Kingdom. And then, like, a few months later, they were like, oh yeah, by the way, you can explore Peach's Castle. $30, please. It's like, what? That's half of what I paid for the game. But no, like, DLC like this. This is the perfect way to do DLC. We're gonna... You know, we're gonna release it over the next year. Pay us $30. You get, like, 6 or 7 new characters. And you get, like, 48 new tracks. Like, that is the perfect way to do DLC. If Nintendo could just stick to a model like that, like, oh yeah, we're gonna double the length of your fucking game. Just pay us, like, you know... Pay us, like, half the price of a game. Because it was, like, 25 or $30 for the pack, but... Even still, it's like, you know... For the price of half a game, we will double the length of it. It's like... That's a no-brainer. But unfortunately, like, companies don't do DLC like that. Instead, it's like... Oh yeah, here... Pay us $10 for, like, I don't know, an hour's worth of content. Have fun. Go wild. But this is something I will applaud Nintendo on. They essentially gave us a whole new game for Mario Kart. They're like, yeah, $30. It's gonna be a bunch of retro tracks, but we'll throw you a bone and include some like new tracks in there too. Also, some characters that we missed out on giving you the first time around. Yes! But no, my thing with DLC, I have a very love-hate relationship with it. DLC, when it's well done like this, where it's just a little bonus, pay us a couple bucks and we'll throw you a bone. It's like, okay. But when it's stuff that should have been in the base game, it's like, why are you charging me for this? Do your job. Release it in a free update or something. Like that Donkey Kong DLC, there's no excuse for that. Like, really? You're charging me $20 for, like, an extra mode? Like, no. That's ridiculous. This is the opposite of what you did with Odyssey. You gave us new costumes and, like, new stuff for free. In a free update. But, I mean, it's not just Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo, I'm being hard on Nintendo right now because they are the ones I am thinking of right this second. But other companies do it way worse. Like, let's be honest here. There's a lot of stuff I can knock Nintendo for. That is not one of them. They have not been heavy-handed with the DLC. That's more of an Activision stunt. Who the fuck? It's a fucking bullshit. But no, I don't know. I want the gaming industry to do great things. And that's the reason why I feel I'm so hard sometimes on like some of these companies. It's just more so, it's like, I know you have it in you. I know there's enough steam in the engine to produce something great, but instead you want cheap, low-risk slop. That's all it is. It's like, if you could just, please, humor me for a second. If you could just do wacky shit like you were doing, 15 years ago, that'd be great. 15 years... Never mind. I think 15 years ago, like the 2000s, but 15 years ago would be 2011 when this problem really started. So, yeah. I think we'll do one more race after this, and then I'm gonna call it, because I'm tired. By that, I more so mean that I'm like... It's not like sleepy tired. It's more so I'm just like kind of hungry. That's the thing. Like I don't mind streaming for like long hours. It's more so just like, I don't know. If I don't eat that day, then I'm gonna be like kind of boring. What the fuck happened there? Man, I am very excited to get to finish Metal Gear Solid 2 though. Like, honestly, I could have kept going with that tonight, but, April 30th and all that. I'll take it. But yeah, we'll do one more race, and then I'm gonna get going, because I have work tomorrow, so I gotta, get ready for that. That old chestnut. Let me check something real quick. Let's check the Bank O Mario. Oh my god. This is bad. This is bad. I love it when... Yeah. I love when I have, like, $2,000 just hanging out in limbo because the government doesn't want to, like, I don't know, do their job and give me my refund. Awesome. Awesome possum. Awesome sauce. Especially when I'm, like, hanging on by a fucking thread. Financially, so... I don't know. I don't like talking finances, but... I gotta be honest. It's rough being a sensitive young man in the big 26. But yeah, you know, there was always something so, like, mystifying about, I don't know, like, retro games when I was a kid. I don't know what it was, but, like, there was just something so, like, it was foreign, but it was, like, just intriguing to see, you know, how technology evolved when I was a kid. Now, of course, I why am I getting FaceTimed? I'm streaming. Anyway, yeah, I'm not answering that right this second. Okay. Why did that hit me? That's fucking bullshit. Kiki was right in front of me. Man. But you know what? If 3DS Rainbow Road is on the menu, we'll try one more race, but I think that'll be it after that. Shit, I lost my train of thought. But I mean that's kind of the thing. It's more so just like, I don't know. Alright, this will be our last race of the night. But no, this has been fun. Yeah, sorry I didn't get to do this on Sunday like the title of the stream says, but, you know. It is what it is. We gotta do what we can when we can. I can't control when the servers for this game shut off for the night, I guess. But yeah, I'll say this. I'm glad that I found some sort of purpose. For a while there, I was just kind of like directionless. Like, what the fuck do I do with my life? But, you know, it's weird. I can find some positives out of the situation with, you know, them replacing Charles as Mario. And I know we talked about that earlier. That conversation's long gone, but I don't know. I think it's something to talk about real quick. In a weird way, that miscasting has given me some purpose to where I don't, you know, stagnate. It's like, you know, I have a goal and I am hell-bent on fucking meeting that goal. Yeah! You know what? What a way to go out. My goal It's a bit of a pipe dream, but it's a goal all the same. Voice acting. Impression work. I want to do justice to these roles that are often miscast because, the average populace, they're not going to care. It's the bloated corpse of a franchise that everyone wants to see. Who cares if it sounds right? I am autistic enough to where it is of vital importance to me that certain things are done right. So that is my goal. I guess the end game of that goal, I want to be the voice of Mario. Kevin Afghani, if you're hearing this, I'm after your job, motherfucker. That is my goal. That, I actually get to where I want to be. Because that's the thing. I have a talent. And I will see to it that my talent is not wasted. And a lot of people, they just don't have that kind of drive. It's more so just, I have a talent, but who cares? Let me go work my slop job and languish. For me, I'm not like that. I have a talent. I have a goal. And I will accomplish my goal. So true, dude. That is so true. You are donezo, buddy boy. But no, I mean, it's just one of those things. As much as I dislike that casting choice, it has given me some sort of... It's given me something to do, Because before that, I was kind of just languishing, just like, what the fuck am I going to do with my life? I don't know. Now I've been given some sort of direction. It's like, okay, we're going to do this. So, in a weird way, I'm thankful for it. But, hello, Mr. Boone. I know what you want, you sick son of a bitch. That I do. So true, dude. Alright. Give me a second. I'll go get the fucking mustard. Give me 5 seconds. Ow. I've been sitting in a weird position and now my leg is asleep. So that's fun. It's just so much fun. Alright. Your dollary due to my mustard. Let's do this. Alright. Here we go. Mustard! Alright, there we go. A good squeeze for Mr. Wario. There we go. There we go indeed. Alright, you got your mustard squeeze, so we're going to put this back away. No problem, no problem. Always happy whenever I see $1 donated to the Chud Fund to oblige and douse Mr. Wario here in some mustard. Man, we're actually looking at this, we're about halfway there. I mean, of course, you can't really see that because I dropped it and it got shaken around, and but I'm looking in here. Let's look at Wario. Yeah, we got about this much in the jar. So yeah, whenever it's fully filled up, I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I may drink it. I don't know. I may just I don't know, fucking smash it against a wall or something. We'll see. We'll see. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. No, no, no. Honestly, you and Bojack are the only ones who really want to see this through to completion. So, yeah. That that's it. That's your all's thing. So, do you actually want me, once this is filled with mustard, to send it your way? No, dude. I'll tell you what then. I'll tell you what. When I go down to Florida and we film Fat Guy Wrestling 2, I'm here's the thing. I'm afraid that it's like mustard in a bottle. You can't put it back in. I mean, I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. But yeah. I'll tell you what, Boone. I will save this in my refrigerator once it's fully filled up, and I will bring it down. Good God, I'm trying to end the stream because I'm like, I don't know. I got other shit to do, but I'll tell you what. $20. $20. This is fucking stupid. Um. Okay. Okay. What's the $10 for? You guys are fucking assholes, you know that? Alright. Hold on. We'll fucking do it, I guess. Okay. Okay. I will get this set up. If that's what you bastards want to see. Okay, what I'm doing is I have to see how to fucking do it. How the fuck does one do the chicken dance? Yeah, I am focusing. I gotta focus. Alright, oh boy. Oh fucking boy. Okay, okay. I think I get the gist. Let me just do this real quick. Because I am like fucking stupid and I don't know how to do this properly, so... Alright. You sick bastards. You're gonna get exactly what you fucking want. It's loading. It's loading. Alright, let's save this to my Google Drive. Alright, give me just another moment and you will get your fucking shit. You'll get exactly what you're bargaining for. Alright, here we go. Alright, you sick bastards. Here we go. Let's fucking go. Let me try and do this to where... Okay, shit. This is... It's starting, bros. Y'all wanted? What a beautiful sight, The fuck do you mean? What do you mean? God. Okay. Give me just a second and I will find a way to oblige. Good God. You people are sick. You know that? You people are sick. Here. That should help things. Okay. Really, it's just a matter of moving everything around. Alright, there we go. So I kind of have everything set up for a particular way. But, so we're no longer using the TV. Alright, there we go. Excuse me? What's going on? Alright. Hold on. Duh! So true, dude. That's awesome. Okay. Alright. You'll get your fucking chicken dance. There you go. Oh, man. Well, that was the end of the track. I hope that was worth every singular penny that took. I can't even lie. That was fucking funny. That shit was awesome. You people are sick. You're welcome. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. That's awesome, dude. It's so fucking stupid. Ha ha. Ha ha. Very funny. Very funny. But yeah. Awesome. Awesome stuff we got here. Yeah, I think we found a better way to do this now that I don't know. Yeah, instead of me trying to like fucking wrangle the computer to do something behind my desk. But yeah, that was fun. But I think that's gonna be it. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. But good stream, good stream. We'll be back tomorrow with some 2D Mario stuff, and of course, dude. Yeah, no, I figured. There actually is a story behind that, but that's for another. Actually, I'll tell it now. My brother is fucking gross. just saying. I love my brother, but that motherfucker he'd open up a can of like Chef Boyardee ravioli, eat it fucking raw, and then just leave shit in the fridge like that and wouldn't touch it. Yeah, no. After enough of that, I'm like, okay, I'm buying my own mini fridge for my room. Dude, I get it. Haha. Of course, Bojack. This is Mario here. Get better soon. But yeah, so true, dude. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. I have no idea. But they're pretty cool. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, and Thursday we'll finish Metal Gear, and then Friday and Saturday I'm gonna be gone. Sunday we'll probably be back with something new. I'm planning on finishing the 2D Mario that we're playing tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. Worst comes to worst, you know, we'll finish that on Sunday. But yeah, what I'm planning is we're going to do Mario Kart Mission Mode next week. That'll be one of our Mario games for the week. But we'll see. We'll see. Anywho, with all that said, it's been fun. It's been real. I even think that it's been real fun. But it's a time for Mario to go. So I want to thank you all for watching. This has been Kentucky Mario, and I will see you all next time. Okie dokie. Mario, see you next time. Ho ho! See you later. Mario, think all of you all are fantastic. Okay. Bye bye.